Okay, let's continue on AI Video Local Model, and we are tackle how to handle dual characters or even multiple characters in conversational video scenes. Now we're going to use these LTX 2.3 Dual Character LoRA model. These are going to help us strengthen the LTX 2.3 video generations with multiple scenes as well as multiple characters. For example, what you're seeing right now, you can see there's identification for multiple characters in one video shot, or even across multiple shots of characters acting and speaking. And it's able to recognize different characters in those scenes using this LoRA model. And we'll also be incorporating other LoRA models for motion consistency as well. So here's one example that I generated.
You cannot just erase a whole sector, Silas, but we live there.
I am not erasing them, Jax. I am optimizing them.
And one of the problems with this dual character LoRA is that it's really easy to get text displayed on the screen. If you have too much script or speech lines in your text prompts, it gets detected as basically a subtitle, and you end up seeing something like this.
I brought the drive, but the price just doubled.
You are letting your emotions cloud your judgment.
My emotions are the only thing keeping me alive.
So, as you can see, this example here is, of course, not good. It's got some gibberish text, looks like subtitles, right in here. But we need to overcome that. Sometimes using dual character LoRA, along with other LoRAs, caused subtitle. To fix this, I used LTX-NAG. It makes things better, with more prompt adherence, and it keeps that random text gibberish from popping up like subtitles on the screen. So I'm going through a pretty simple way with this workflow in ComfyUI. The model I'm running here is the IC-LoRA, the dual character one. I tested strengths from 0.5 to 1.0, and within that range, it runs without any problems at all. Then the other two, which I mentioned in a previous video, are VBVR for video reasoning and OmniNFT for making the audio and video more consistent, keeping things intact along the timeline. So we're using the dual character LoRA in this example, and I have an image like this. All of these images were generated with the image generation models that I've talked about a few times in other videos, using Z-Image Turbo to generate different kinds of background scenes, characters with white backgrounds. So for example, this one here, we can generate an elevator that's moving up to the top of the tower. That's going to be the place, the background of our video scene, which is exactly what you just saw, with these two characters speaking in the elevator. So we've got something similar with those backgrounds, and we can bring in other examples that I previously generated, like this one, where I used basically the same text prompts to create these kinds of scenes, and bring in the other two characters that I created. So we end up with the settings using the Flux2 Klein that I introduced previously, using that with two characters and one background for image reference. So let's look at this example. What I did with those conversations is using this scene, these two characters, and text prompts referencing all three objects. Then we're generating keyframes, which is the video's start frame image here. So as you can see, this just generated, and after refinement with the upscaler, which I've also demonstrated a few times in previous videos, that's how I got the start frame. And by using this with the examples here, which I'm using for video generation this time, I linked that up in a folder path, just to make it easier to play around with different images. Now, for the dual character format, we need something specific. So the format is going to use, first of all, the global prompt of the prompt relay. The dual character LoRA from the Hugging Face page mentions that you have to do the text prompts for the scenes as well as the characters, and then you go into each camera shot to write the text prompts for whatever the character is speaking. So I was testing this with the prompt relay using the same workflow, and it works. And the effect of this is going to be even better than just running the LTX alone. Because if you just rely on the dual character IC-LoRA, it'll sometimes have that subtitle gibberish text appear on the screen, as well as the multi-camera control not being quite that strong. But with the prompt relay helping me manage multiple cameras, for example, here we've got 3 camera shots with the characters speaking dialogue, as well as the actions they're doing within those few seconds, we can get much more precision in each camera shot. And we're using the dual character LoRA to get multiple character consistency all together. And to overcome the subtitle problems and the text on video screen problems, I'm using the LTX2 NAG, which is the negative prompt control. You can even use that with distill models, because right now I'm using distill LoRA models for lower sampling steps. And then here, I just tried mixing and matching, testing different variants, and connecting the NAG this way, and it also works. So I'm just using this method for right now. I have condition 0 put in here, which I was testing without the NAG. And it does show like the examples here where we got the gibberish text. Even a few times when I generated with only the 0 condition, it was producing subtitles consistently. So with the NAG, we can generate the video output without subtitles, captions, text prompts, watermarks, all those kinds of unwanted things. So let's run this example, and you'll see what it's actually doing here. So here's the generated video result. As you can see, there's multiple shots, multiple angles, with those 2 characters speaking in the elevator. And I also tried 3 more times with different seed numbers. You'll be getting, sometimes different styles, or even just different angles, even with the same first keyframes like this. So it's all trial and error to see which seed numbers and settings, especially in the sampling part here, fits your needs. And here we've got 2 15-second videos and 1 10-second video. Now I tested the durations because the LoRA models were trained with 5-second videos. And right down here it says it's using a 5-second output for performance. So, sometimes it can't generate too long of a video length within those multiple shots. Therefore, I tried even, 15 and 10 seconds to see which one works better and gives a reasonable video length for those 2 people talking. So let's check it out first.
I feel like I am walking into a trap.
It is only a trap if you intend to betray me.
I never said I was loyal, I just said I was hired. I feel like I am walking into a trap.
It is only a trap if you intend to betray me.
I never said I was loyal, I just said I was hired. Jax, I feel like I am walking into a trap.
It is only a trap if you intend to betray me.
I never said I was loyal, I just said I was hired.
So yeah, there you go. You've got the characters speaking across multiple shots, and it can retain a lot of those consistent styles and speech lines for each character assigned. It's really nice that it has at least one character speaking at a time. It won't have all the characters' mouths moving like those lip-sync talking avatar frameworks we've seen before. So the LoRA really does work for this kind of scenario, where you might need multiple characters speaking. And about this one, we also need to be aware of, especially the text prompts, where you need to have the character speaking defined. And before defining which character is speaking, in the global prompt, I modify the text prompts. These are more native text prompts where I defined a character right in here, so we assign a name for each character. And that's how we get the identification for each character with the prompt relay travel prompts here. Yeah, so that is a pretty nice and easy way to have multiple characters speaking, just by adding additional LoRAs. And some people ask about, recommendations for using different custom nodes for LTX, etc. But, well, to be honest, I'm more into learning how to use the AI models themselves rather than relying on custom nodes that are pre-made for some specific result. Because those are pretty easy to replace, since right now, coding and all kinds of stuff. So I'd rather use as many native nodes as I can and focus on the logic behind it. That's what really matters. How you want to control your video output and how you play around with the scenes. So yeah, that's a quick one. And I'll see you guys in the next one.
I brought the drive, but the price just doubled.
The price was set. You are letting your emotions cloud your judgment.
My emotions are the only thing keeping me alive.
You are holding back. I can see it in your pulse.
Check the monitors, Silas. My heart rate is fine.